Well, good morning. This is Dave Johnston with Day Trade the Markets, and today is Tuesday, August the 30th, 2016. Just been filled long here at 1320.60, as you can see. We have been using the 1320 area as a very important support area, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw a line across there. You can see that. Um, Today, the market a couple of times after just dipping towards it right here and here has bounced up to 1322.70. So I'm going to just put a marker right up there as well. So one of the trades that we were looking forward to today was the potential for the market to dip below 1320 and get rejected. And that's really, I think, what we're looking at right now. We don't know for sure, as trading is. Nothing is ever for sure when you're trading. But you can see this is a red bar that formed right here, just as we had another red bar here. Now, red bar is our second strongest of the aggression bars on the sell side. So, what we like to see in order to get long is, in this particular example, because the gold has been in an up market, is for the market to come down with very good aggression and hit into a known support area, which is the 1320, and get rejected. In other words, the high of that aggressive selling bar get taken out very soon, which it did here. Now, when it did move up, it moved up, from the high of that red bar is at 1320.50, so it moved up to 1321.10. So we are actually long just a tick above the high of this red bar, and that's where the entry was on this one. So pretty simple to identify these areas and these certain types of trades, because the market, because it's been an intraday up auction, we've been looking forward to try to get long on this in this market. Should this market that's in the intraday up auction come down and test and get rejected from a known support area. That's kind of, it's one of our ideal sort of trade scenarios. As a matter of fact, in yesterday's video for the members, which we produce every day, this was one of the trade types that we were looking forward to. In other words, should the market come down and dip into the below the 1320 area, get rejected, and start to rally, we'd want to get on the long side. So that's what we've done here. Now, our next, first of all, I do want to go ahead and put in a protective sell stop, and in this case, I'm going to go ahead and put in my sell stop. We are long the 4 contract, so I really don't want it to take out this low of the day. If it does, that's the sellers coming back in and proving themselves, and I don't want to be on board. I'm going to put my stop just a tick below that, so I'm going to put my sell stop at 1319. Now, our first objective on this trade is actually up towards these 2 peaks up in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an order in to sell half of this position up towards that resistance area. So we're long right now from 1320.60, and this one here is at 1322.70. So I think what I'll do, I'm not going to try and sell it right at the high up there, but I think what I will do is I'm going to sell it a little bit below there. Let's call it at 1322.20. So I'm going to put a sell limit in for 2 right in there. So that's going to be our first objective on this trade. So we've got our protective sell stop in place. We've got our target in place. I'm going to try and keep this video recording, fairly short. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording right now. And as the market develops and does something noteworthy, I'll go ahead and restart the video. So I'm going to put it on pause right now. Okay, just resume the recording. It did have, you can see here, and let me point that out, since I paused the recording, it did have a bit of a dip here, but it's turned around and is moving up. So we haven't yet reached our first objective, but it looks like we're heading on up there. So I am going to adjust the stop at this point, and I'm going to bring it just below this dip that occurred here. So, and that's at 1319.70, so I'll bring it up to 1319.6. So make an adjustment on that of roughly, what would that be? I think we were at, what was it, 18.8 to 19.6. So yeah, it's about 80 cents per contract. So We still have a stop in place that is $1. You can see we're long from 13.20.60, and our stop is now at 13.19.60. So just want to bring you up to date on that. And hopefully this thing is going to keep rallying, and we're going to reach our first objective here fairly soon. So just want to bring you up to date on that. And once again, I will go ahead and pause the recording. Okay, just restarted the recording again. As you can see, the market just bounced up here, came within a tick of our objective. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to adjust the stop. It has moved from our long at position at 13.20.60 up to 13.21.10. So I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment on the stop. I'm going to bring it right up to break even here, and we'll see if we can get that fill at 13.22.20. But we do have our stop in now in place on break even, just in case it does turn around and sell off. So just wanted to bring you up to date on that adjustment, and here we are. Okay, we're just a tick from our objective. Maybe just hold on here for a moment. Maybe it can bounce a little bit more and actually get us filled here while we're actually doing the recording. So maybe not. So I'll just, okay, there we are. We just got filled. Okay, 13.22, and I did put the blue line there. So that was our first objective. So we have sold one half of the position. We just sold 2 contracts at that price at 13.22.20. So I'm going to make an adjustment on here. The number of contracts I need to reduce down to 2 because we've sold 2 of the 4, so we only have 2 left. So I'll just leave the stop right now at break even. And obviously what we're looking at is to move above this area here that I was mentioning earlier, where I've placed this blue line. So the software creates several structures that we like to examine. You can see, by the way, at the bottom we do have this band down at the bottom, which is our filter, directional filter, intraday. It actually had more promise when we first put it in. We don't use it in particular like we had anticipated. So actually a lot of our traders take it off. Some like it because it'll give you dark red, which is excessive selling when the market makes a low, and it's a contrary indicator. But we don't really rely on that too much. We've got so many more tools to work with here, but I just want to point that out. We do have these 3 different colored paint bars on the buy side and 3 on the sell side as far as levels of aggression that I was mentioning a moment ago. So we've got those, and we've got these, you can see these triangles here, a lot of triangles and some dots too. These is what we call deceleration. So if a bar comes in and it's taken out its previous bar's high, for example, but it did so with less buying in the bar than its previous bar, that would be a decelerating buying bar. So we like to take a look at those. Other than that, it does create trade location zones. We don't have any formed here today, so I can't really talk about those, but we've got a lot of other videos on our website and so forth you can take a look at on those. But at any rate, just getting back to this trade, and obviously these blue horizontal lines I put on manually. So this is our first objective here. We reached that, and now we've got a break-even stop in. So obviously, you know, the next barrier, if you will, resistance likely right up in here. So let's see if the market can take that out. We're going to do a trailing stop on this here for the time being. However, you know, the more I think about that, the more I think I will go ahead and put in a sell limit up in this area where the market started its sell-off today, more or less in this area in here. And so I'm going to go ahead and put an order to sell just 1 contract at 13.23.60. So sell limit 13.23.60. So it's a little bit below the high of the day, but it's where a lot of this good selling started, and oftentimes the market will go up and test the resolve of those sellers. So it, you know, could come in as a resistance area. So I think that's a good target for now. So we'll just leave it like that. I'll pause the recording and pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, just resuming the recording here. You can see the market has fallen off that resistance area that we were talking about. We got filled here This is our next objective, and obviously this is where we're long, where we have our break even in. So, obviously we're in jeopardy of being stopped at a break even on the second half of the position. The market has just come down within a couple, 3 ticks of it. So just wanted to bring you up to date on that, and I'll go ahead and once again pause the recording and start it up. Should we either get stopped out or get filled on our limit, or something else happen that would cause us to make some adjustments on this trade. So I'll go ahead and pause the recording right now. Okay, just starting the recording again, restarting it. Last time it was down in here when I started re-recording. It did have a nice little bounce to here, but it's come right back on down. So obviously, once again, we're in jeopardy of being stopped on this for the second half of the position, which would be a break-even stop. So just bringing you up to date on that. And I've got that marked in here. So just a quick recap. We were long, actually still are long, 13.2060. We got out of here the 16 tick profit on the first half of the position for the first 2 contracts. So 16 on, obviously each tick is a $10 tick. So 160 times 2, so it's 320 already on this trade. We've got our next objective in here at 13.2360, which would be a nice, what's that, be a $3 move. So that's a nice $300 profit on that one contract should the market rally up and fill us at our sell limit up here at 13.2360. So for those of you that are not familiar with the tick value in the gold, each tick is valued at $10. So we've still got the 2 contracts in play, which is the second half of the position. You can see it just came down and hit that same level again. So maybe we're going to get lucky and have it rally here, but I just want to bring you up to date as we were obviously in jeopardy there of being stopped. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll pause the recording once again. Okay, just restarted the recording. As you can see, we just got stopped right here, and I've placed this blue line right here. So obviously I need to cancel that order right there. I'll just erase that. So as it turned out, we didn't really get the big lift that we were looking for. We did have a nice trade out of it. It did come up and hit into our resistance area where we exited half of our long position. Had a nice profit on that, but we're stopped at a break even on the second half of the position. So still a successful trade, no complaints. I really did expect the market to have a better lift off once the market came down here and rejected price below this blue line that I'd placed on the chart, which is at 13.20. So it seems like it wants to come down and test into that area at least once more. Still might have a good turnaround and rally today, but for the time being, this is a trade in the gold on Tuesday, August the 30th, 2016. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.